Hey, listen to Commander Cookout Podcast, episode 204. I'm Brando. I'm here with Ryan, and we're going to continue our set review of Zendikar by talking about the best of the rest. Now hit our theme song! Hey, Ryan. We're back for yet another whirlwind adventure. How you doing?
Good. What is going down?
Not a whole lot since last time we talked, which was like an hour ago.
Two minutes ago.
But it's a day for everybody else, so we're going to continue on with our Zendikar. What the hell is this set even called?
Zendikar Rising.
Our Zendikar Rising set review. We're going to talk some Planeswalkers, we're going to talk some Commander deck exclusives, and we're going to point out some of the cards from the set proper that I think that we think deserve special consideration by members of the nation. But before we do any of that, we have to thank our sponsors, FusionGamingOnline.com. The resource for all your gaming needs.
That's right. We thank Fusion. We appreciate working with them. And I still have those same cards I talked about 2 minutes ago in my shopping cart.
Neat.
I'm going to use CCO exclusive promo code CCO Fusion 5 for 5% off my order. That's great.
Yeah.
And if you want any Zendikar anything, you can get them from Fusion.
So I want to put stuff in my cart now, but I got to wait until after I open my stuff to see what I need.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know what? Hey, you know what happened? I made an order last week. Literally within 3 hours, my shipping notification.
Nice.
Fuck yes.
That is exciting.
And because they're so close to us, they're like just down the way. Like the highway, that is.
It's not like the, the stargazing secret lair that I ordered back in February.
No. Where are they sending that from? Probably actually the stars. It's coming from a different galaxy. That's what takes so long.
Speaking of that, I don't want to spoil anything, but let's just say if you've paid any attention to the Brando Does Stuff YouTube channel, there may or may not be a very special video coming up there very soon.
Oh, yeah?
I don't want to say anything or spoil anything, but
okay, well,
there's a little teaser.
Link is always in the show notes on wherever you find the cast and on YouTube. Which we are there now, I guess. You're probably watching this on YouTube, where we hope you are. If you are, make sure to like and sub and like.
Yeah, and
like and subscribe.
And defecate on the like button's porch.
Yes, and then light it on fire, or don't light it on fire. Either is fine.
Yeah, fire is a dangerous thing these days, so maybe don't.
Yeah. We need some rain.
Yeah.
Or something. Yeah.
Everywhere we go, there's a lot of fire going on.
Okay, last big thank you, Patreon supporters at patreon.com/CCO podcast. No new shout-outs and nicknames and FUs. We did them all yesterday. We assumed that this was going to be the longer review, but I think that one is going to turn out being the longer fucking review.
As much as there weren't a lot of new commanders, there were some really interesting legendaries in this set.
Yeah, a lot of discussion. And you know what? A lot of discussion here. We've got some returning planeswalkers, returning mechanics. We're going to cover them real quick. We covered them a little bit yesterday. Fine. No expeditions today. That's another YouTube video, so make sure you like, sub to the channel. Find the expedition video where we talk all about that.
That'll be out soon. Get our hot take on the return of those cards.
Yeah, and the not so hot take because I'm pretty docile on every Magic product that comes out.
Yeah, and I guess, am I the fiery one?
A little bit you are.
Neat.
A little bit you are when new stuff comes out. You either love it or hate it, and I'm just like such a centrist with Magic product. It's just like, oh, here's more stuff. I could buy it or not buy it, like it, not like it. It's just there for my viewing pleasure, playing enjoyment.
Yeah, and I'm either going to like rub it on myself, or I'm offended that it exists.
Yeah. See, I'm just not. That's just not me. That's fine, though.
See, we balance each other out.
Yeah, that's it. That's
we're like
it.
yin and yang. We're like the Cobra Kai guy and the guy that runs the used car dealership in Cobra Kai, the show.
Sure.
I haven't actually watched the show, just the trailer, but it looks kind of neat.
Yeah, we're like Gollum and Smeagol.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah, I like that.
There it is. There it is.
The reference from the one movie that Ryan's ever watched.
Yeah, I'm watching it right now with the kid. Got a 2-year-old watching Lord of the Rings, and he's fucking into it.
Shit.
And he's like legitimately invested, gets upset when characters die. And there's a decent number of characters that die.
Like one.
But he's not scared of anything. Like I've exposed him to magic cards and goblins and big spiders and scary stuff. We haven't got to the big spider part in Lord of the Rings though, so that's pretty scary.
It's pretty scary.
Pretty scary for a 2-year-old.
Yeah.
It's dark. There's a giant spider, a bunch of dead things. That's pretty scary.
The cave with all the ghosts is kind of creepy too.
Oh yeah, that might be a scary part. We're watching extended edition, of course.
Why the shit didn't they send the army of ghosts to Mordor to get Frodo and Sam?
What the fuck?
People are all like, why didn't they fly the eagle? It says, no, you have an army of fucking indestructible ghosts.
They could have just told them that the war wasn't over yet.
Or just say, hey, you know what, guys? Like, how about Willow, you won?
Yeah.
If you just You just fucked up an entire army, the greatest army ever assembled on Middle-earth. You fucked them up in literally 3 minutes.
Yeah.
So how about you just go over here, fuck up a slightly smaller army, and we'll owe you one. And they'd be like, it's on our way. Sure.
It's on our way. Yeah.
That'd be the end of
I
it.
had to stop just around the corner, actually. I can pick it up on the way.
You wouldn't even have to throw the ring into Mount Doom because all of the orcs are dead.
Like, you could have just kept the ring as a memento.
Yeah, there's nobody there to give a shit about it because the army of ghosts just killed everybody.
Oh man, that is a plot hole, I guess. You've never seen that one coming. Well, we're watching it. It's great. What I was gonna say is I do like when we go back to Plains and we can revisit the tropes and we revisit the things that maybe should have been explored a little bit more, but they left it in the tank. You know how they do that, right? Yep. So we're getting landfall again. Land enters the battlefield. You'd get some benefit. Cool.
Good ass mechanic. I like it.
Good ass mechanic. Like we said yesterday, you always know what to expect.
Yep.
Yeah, it's great.
It's the theme of one of my very favorite commander decks.
That's it. Yeah, and sort of one of my decks that people ask me about all the time in my lands deck.
Sure.
I don't know if it's my favorite deck, but if I had a deck that I could call famous, that might be my most famous deck or my most requested to be played against deck.
Neat.
Yeah. Yours is probably Norrin, hey?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So we've got party. If you have a wizard, cleric, warrior, and rogue, that is your party.
Typically, it makes things cost less, or it gives you an ability if you have a full party.
Or it gives you some +1 for each creature in your party, right?
Yeah.
Okay, it's kind of a limited standard mechanic, but we saw it a couple times yesterday.
Yeah. I'm a little soft on it, but I think come the next Not Core set, we're going to see it come back, and there I think we're going to see it flourish a little bit.
Yeah, those extra that they left in the tank are things that we revisit are going to be the Forgotten Realms party type thing, right?
Correct.
Okay. Modal double-faced cards.
Cool.
Yeah.
Those are always fun. They
And-
always add a dimension that you like.
And we're going to see a bunch of them when we hit the set proper.
Yep.
So let's start with the 3 Planeswalkers. We're going to look at the Commander, the Zendikar Rising Commander deck exclusives, and then we're going to hit the big part of the set.
Yeah, all right. So the first one is another returning mechanic in Kicker on Jace Mirror Mage.
First ever with Kicker on a Planeswalker.
And of course it's on Jace, because of course Jace is on Zendikar.
Yeah, this is a card that I want to play in a deck, and then I got to put a Jace in my deck.
And of course Ryan wants to play.
Oh, you're a fucking dick.
It's a 4 loyalty Planeswalker Jace for blue 1. It has Kicker of 2 generic whenever Jace Mirror Mage enters the battlefield. If it was kicked, you create a token copy of it that is not legendary and its starting loyalty is 1. It has +1 scry 2 and 0 draw card, reveal it, remove a number of loyalty counters from it, where the number of loyalty counters removed from it is the converted mana cost of the card that you showed.
So that is kind of like Sarkhan the Mad, except you minus 0 him to reveal and it deals damage to him. It Dark Confidants himself.
Yes.
This Dark Confidants himself, but you remove counters, so it's not dealing damage.
Yeah.
But you can kick it for 5, and then you can essentially draw 2 for 0 loyalty investment if you reveal lands. So you can see where I want to play this.
Yeah, it goes in the lands deck.
The place that I want to reveal lands every time I draw a card.
Yeah.
Do I play this or Dark Confidant? Because if there's ever a place that I want to fucking make Jace take damage instead of me, it's in that deck, maybe instead of Dark Confidant. It's kind of a double entendre because I don't take the damage from Bob. Fucking Jace does, but I still get to draw cards.
Well, you're probably going to get more cards out of Bob, aren't you? I would think.
Probably.
This is a fine card. It's another fucking Jace. It's another, here's Jace, draw cards. I'm smarter than you. What? Get out of here. Speaking of things that are just
another of what they already were.
Of course, we have Nahiri, Heir of the Ancients. She's a 4 loyalty Planeswalker Nahiri for white, red, 2. +1, create a 1/1 white core warrior creature token. You may attach an equipment you control to it. So we have Nahiri. Then we have -2. Look at the top 6 cards of your library. You may reveal a warrior or equipment from among them. Put that into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order.
So we get a warrior or an equipment. So we'll
Yes.
probably get an equipment.
Probably.
Okay.
to equip to your warrior that you have created, or the big ability -3.
Ooh, that's a big ulti.
It deals damage to target creature or planeswalker equal to twice the number of equipment you control.
Not terrible.
This is a card that goes in that.
Equipment attacky Boros dot deck.
Yeah, there it is again. So
Okay. Are you gonna how much damage are you gonna get out of that? Like, you got a sword, you got boots, and you got one other equipment. You're gonna deal 6 damage to something.
Sure, that's
not terrible.
it's
You're gonna
fine.
get that once, and then you're gonna make a core after that.
It's the Boros attacky equipmenty deck. That's what it is.
I can see that late game. Maybe you drop Nahiri, activate her, and you get 10 damage out of it. That's best case scenario.
Like, maybe if you have been just wrecking house with a Bloodforged battle axe,
Ooh,
there you go.
That's a gooder,
right?
Yeah,
where
okay.
you're getting copies of it.
Yeah.
Then you're gonna see some Nahiri
Okay.
tricks. But other than that, I think that it's kind of whatever.
All right, moving on.
Moving
Last
on.
Planeswalker. This
Last-
is our Landfaller.
Nisa of Shadowed Boughs is a 4 loyalty planeswalker. Again, Nisa 4, green, black 2, has landfall whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control. Put a loyalty counter on her. Neat. +1, untap target land you control. You may have it become a 3/3 elemental creature token with base power. Oh, with haste, with haste and menace until end of turn. So what the hell is menace again?
It cannot be blocked except by 2 or more creatures.
Sure. Or -5, you may put a creature card with converted mana cost less than or equal to the number of lands you control onto the battlefield from your hand or graveyard with 2 +1/+1 counters on it.
Oh.
That is cool.
That is cool. I'm thinking of like the mass landfall deck where you play Nisa, then you drop like 10 lands off Escape Shift or 15 lands off Escape Shift. Then the payoff's not even that good. You got a Nisa with like 20 fucking loyalty, and it doesn't even.
And that's why. That's why. 'Cause
I
They
suppose.
underpowered it on purpose. But I think this is I'll probably play this one in my Shattergang Brothers deck. Because I
Okay.
play a lot of kind of bomb-ass creatures in it.
Yeah, that you sacrifice, you get them back with Nisa.
Yeah, and then I can use Nisa to get them back.
You Nisa on 4, you double landfall with a fetch land, she goes up to 6. Then you +1 her, she's at 7. This is a hard planeswalker to kill.
Yes.
Then if you ramp at all, she might be at 8 the turn you cast her.
But she's very good. She's one of those ones that you can probably ultimate the turn that you play her without any help.
Yep. And she's probably the one that really does actually represent life gain, or you can cast her ultimate multiple times in a game because people are going to be attacking her, so you can't reanimate the stuff you're putting into your graveyard, and you're just not taking damage, and she's not dying because she's so big. So that one there's something to be.
There's something there.
There's something there. Yeah, I like
I'm
that
into
one.
that. Okay, Zendikar Rising Commander deck exclusive cards.
We got 4 of them.
Yep, you can only get these in the Commander decks, as far as I'm aware. I'm not sure if they're in collector boosters or not, but
They're probably in collector boosters, like in the set,
the weird,
like the non-foil slot or whatever, like they have had in the past.
Sure.
Where you would get the non-foil versions of the commanders.
Ooh.
Like where you got the non-foil Corvalds and Chulanes and stuff in the Eldraine ones.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah, that's probably where you can get these.
The plausibility is high. First up, we have Enigma Thief, which is a 5/5 Sphinx Rogue for blue 5.
Ugh.
It has flying. And whenever Enigma Thief enters the battlefield for each opponent, return up to 1 target non-land permanent that player controls to their hand.
So that bounces one thing
Per
opponent. Yeah,
Yes.
sorry. Yeah.
And it has Prowl for blue 3, and that is... Let me read it here real quick. If you deal combat damage with a Sphinx or a Rogue, you can play the Prowl cost instead of the mana cost. So it's a 5/5 for 4 if you've dealt damage with a Rogue in your Rogue Tribal deck, because that's where you're going to play this.
Yeah, that's where it comes from. Okay. So bounce everything bounce one thing per opponent for 4 mana on a 5/5. That's actually good.
That's
like
not bad.
A 5/5 flyer for 4 is already good. It's not playable good,
It's fine.
but if it bounces 3 things and is a 5/5 flyer for 4,
It's probably one of the best creatures in the precon, right? Like it's
yeah, you're probably not wrong.
it's probably fine.
Yeah, okay. Next
All right,
one.
same card in that, different card, same deck. Whisper Steel Dagger is an equipment for black 2. Equipped creature gets +2/+0. It equips for 3, and whenever equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, you may cast a creature spell from that player's graveyard this turn. You may spend mana as though or any color.
I like that one.
I like that one too.
I like that one because you're going to get rampant growths. You're going to get Kodama's reaches. You're going to get
Creature spell.
shit.
Yeah.
I don't like that one as much.
It's cool. I like it. I think it's neat.
What are you going to get with it, though?
Who knows? You get all kinds of neat stuff.
I suppose.
You could get a Sakura Tribe Elder. You could get Walking Atlas. You could get some kind of utility dude, or maybe it's later on in the game and they've thrown a couple of haymakers that have been dealt with, and then now you're throwing the haymakers too.
Yep.
So I think it has possibilities.
Okay.
I
It
think
goes
it's a
in
cool
Graveyard Steely.Decky. Maybe it goes in Send Triplets, where you're wanting to do stuff out of your opponent's hand. Once they've dispatched it because they don't like when you take their stuff, they kill their own thing so we don't have it because they want to reanimate it themselves or something. Then we can Whisper Steel Dagger their stuff back after it's died for the ultimate trolls.
I like it.
Yeah. Okay, last two.
Last two. First, we have Trove Warden. It is a 3/4 cat beast for white, 2. It has Vigilance and Landfall. The Landfall ability is whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, exile target permanent card with converted mana cost 3 or less from your graveyard.
Okay.
So where are we going with that? When Trove Warden dies, put each permanent card exiled with it onto the battlefield under control of that card's owner. So you.
Yes.
I don't know why they worded it like that.
Who cares?
Doesn't matter.
This is like the Sun Titan Landfall-y card, right?
Yep.
Is Sun Titan better than this?
Yes.
Probably, hey, because they can just exile that, and
Then you get nothing, yeah.
because this has to die, right?
Sun Titan's repeatable. There's no clause. You just play it. It's bigger. It also has Vigilance.
It costs 6 instead of 4.
It gives
What about
you,
Savine's Reclamation?
That's not a 6/6 body with Vigilance.
I like Savine's
right?
Reclamation more than this, but if you're looking for redundancy, if you want Cat Beast instead of Giant,
Yeah.
or if you don't want to play Sabine's Reclamation for whatever reason, this is maybe what you play.
And I've said on lots of episodes of the show that they always print a good cat because they like the cat tribal deck.
There it is, yeah.
And this is it's a good card. It's a solid card that you
Yeah.
can play and you'll get some value out of it. Last one is my favorite of the 4. It is a Geode Rager. It is
Geode Rager.
a Rager. And it's kind of Brando's Altar Challenge of the Week. I'm not even going to tell you what you should paint on that card, but everybody fucking knows.
Yep.
Geode Rager is a 4/3 for red, 4. Again, my very favorite mana cost for any spell, anytime, anywhere, ever. It has First Strike and Landfall, and the Landfall is whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, goad each creature target player controls, which means they have to attack next turn of Fable.
Creature?
Yeah, and they have to attack, but they can't attack you unless you're the only opponent left that they can attack.
Landfall Goad is good.
Yes.
Landfall Goad is like, can you imagine if you got 3 landfalls?
Can you imagine?
Even if you got 2 landfalls and you just targeted 2 different players and they just attacked the same guy.
Play this in that the Minotaur guy. So you get a bunch of combat steps because you've played a bunch of land.
Yes.
Now you've goaded all your opponents, and after you've fucking smashed their heads in, they can't even attack you back.
Oh, yeah, and you're all tapped out.
And they're tapped out for when you go to do it again.
Excellent.
So that's a cool card. I like it lots. I think right now the prices are real high. Normally we don't talk about finance here.
Yeah.
But the prices on these are pretty high just because they're only available in the Commander decks, and they are...
Yeah, they'll go
Fine,
down.
but-
If you can crack them in packs, they're going to get opened, and the cards aren't so prolific and so powerful, and they're not so rare. Like, they can only be so much because these Commander precons are not going to be $40 to $50 to $60. They're going to be in the, I don't know, 25 to 35 range. They're all reprints except these 4 cards and the 2 Commanders, which we covered yesterday, aren't very good.
Yeah.
So I don't think these cards are going to be so expensive.
Yeah, you're going to buy the deck probably for the Geode Rager and
Yeah.
and the
Yeah.
I guess the Arcane Signet, because people like Arcane Signet,
Yeah.
and that's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
All right, moving along to the set proper.
Oh, baby. Set proper. Here we go.
Okay, as we normally do it, we have the set spoiler open in Wooburg alphabetical order. We start at the top, we go down, we stop anytime we see a card that looks pretty sweet.
Yep.
Or something that we might play, something that deserves some special attention.
Yeah, and just to that end, I think it's important to say that we realize that it's preview season. This set review's coming out after the pre-release, so you're going to have had these cards in your hand. If you listen to Magic Podcast or consume content of any kind, you've seen the spoilers, you've seen the mega high to-do awesome cards, you've heard other people talk about them, and we realize that. So what we like to do is talk about stuff that maybe appeals to us, stuff that we think would go in deck, stuff that maybe you don't always hear on set reviews.
Yeah.
So let us know how we do at CCO Podcast, at CCO Brando, of course. Let us know if this is the kind of style you like, or if you like yesterday's style where we go a little bit more in depth on, about 15 or 20 cards. So let us know what you think.
Yeah, I agree. Can we start here? I like this one.
Do it.
I like this one just because I know I'm that guy. I'm a bit of a stacks player sometimes. I really like Archon of Emeria.
Brando doesn't know how to play control, so he just goes all the way to 10 with control.
I just crank the dial up to the top to figure it out.
All right, so this is an Archon, 2/3 for white 2 flying. Each player can't cast more than one spell each turn. So that's sort of like Damping Sphere, right?
Basically,
sort of.
Yeah.
Sort of. In combo decks, Damping Sphere is essentially that.
Yes.
You're going to cast one fucking spell. Okay. Non-basic lands your opponent's control enter the battlefield tapped.
So it's a flying, shitty Blood Moon that's a Dampening Sphere on the inside.
What if you have a Blood Moon out and this? Do my non-basics enter the battlefield untapped?
Yes.
Because they're mountains?
Yes. Yes. Then it's just a shitty Dampening Sphere. But
yeah.
So it's shitty Blood Moon
a shitty Damping Sphere, shitty Blood Moon that also beats your opponent for 2.
Yeah, and it does the thing that White likes to do where it brings that parity, where maybe your opponents are ramping way faster than you, and they're doing it greedily with all their non-basics. This will slow them down a little bit. I like this card.
I think that's a good one. And there's 2 of them, bang, bang, right in a row that I want to touch on. First one, Canyon Jerboa.
That you like that because of the art, right? It's got the cute little mouse pin on it.
I like Canyon Jerboa and Felidar Retreat for the same reasons, and they're not for the art. Or mouse or cat or I don't care about that cutesy shit. I don't care. They have landfall. The Canyon. Am I saying that right? Jerboa?
Jerboa? Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, sure. It's a 1/2 for 3 landfall. When a land enters the battlefield under your control, creatures you control get +1/+1 until end of turn.
Cool.
Holy shit. If you can get even 2, but you're doing that sort of consistently, like if you're jamming fetches or if you're playing white plus something else that is going to find you land, draw you cards, whatever it is, to get more land. Ooh, baby. That's a cool little one. And Felidar Retreat, landfall. You choose one, put a cat beast creature token onto the battlefield, but that's not what you're going to pick ever. No. You're going to put a +1 counter on each creature you control. Those creatures gain vigilance until end of turn.
Oh, man.
That is a good card.
Yes, it is.
That's a powerful card. Every time that you just take your turn and play Magic and play a land, your creatures are going to get bigger.
That's awesome.
That is cool. That's like Felidar Retreat is not Cathar's Crusade.
No.
But it's like Land-Ar's Crusade. It's like Cathar's Land Aid.
Cathar's Parade.
There it is.
That's what it is. Super secret tech. If you ever bump into CCO Brando on Arena, you might see me playing a red-white landfall deck that plays both of those cards. You might. I'm not saying anything.
Oh, so I touched on the stuff that you also already play.
I am playing those cards.
Jerboa and Felidar Retreat.
They're both really good.
Okay.
They're both exceptionally good.
We're right there. Okay, you wanted to touch on the 2 humor arts because you always say that they do put humor arts, and I'm like, no, they fucking don't.
And they do. We have Journey to Oblivion. Look at that picture. It's like the outline of a guy that ran through a wall.
And a throwback to Journey to Nowhere.
Yes.
It does Journey to Nowhere / Oblivion Ring stuff, but it's called Journey to Oblivion, and it's got the fucking outline of the Kool-Aid guy running through the wall.
which is awesome. And then it's got Fearless Fledgling. That's 100% the bird off of Fry. I'm sure that if you're watching this on video, you'll see both of them right now. Because that's just hilarious.
The card Fry.
Yeah.
The card Fry from M19, I think, right?
Correct. And because this card just looks, it's a bird getting choked. That's what that is.
Nah, that's
They
fun.
just edited the hands out.
He's a chicken getting choked, and he is not scared.
That's right.
He is literally watching the worst kind of thing that you can see on the internet. Oof. Okay, next up for, I want to say just aesthetic purposes, amazing looking card, Legion Angel.
That is pretty cool.
That is a cool card. Angel Warrior flying, enters the battlefield, reveal cards from that you own named Legion Angel, put them onto your hand. Like, you'll never fucking play it.
Yeah, this is not an EDH card
No,
in
but
any way.
Okay, we've got our first cycle here. This is a cycle of auto-equipping equipments.
I really like this.
I love auto-equippers or zero-cost equippers, and those go in I played them in Mistform Ultimus. I've played them in my Rorik's Bladewing. Remember that mono red, just kill you in 1 pound?
Yeah, and then lose.
Oh, don't care. Don't care. You slight me, you eyeballing me, you dead. This one doesn't go in it because it's white, but there is one in each color. We'll just read this one for, I don't know. We'll read this one.
Sure.
Enters the battlefield, equipped to target creature you control, and it costs white 2. I think they're all different, and the equip costs might all be different.
Yeah.
It equips for white 2. Equip creature gets +2 and flying and first strike.
Cool.
Which is like a powerful. That's actually good. Yeah. 2 and flying and first strike.
You know what I like about these is not that
they auto equip.
Well, yes, that too. But I like that they kind of feel like enchantments that you get to reuse.
Oh yeah.
You know, like, yes, they say equip on them, and you're clearly equipped.
They're artifacts.
They're colored. Yeah. And they're, like, it feels like I'm going to enchant my creature. It has this. And then, you're going to kill it. And then the enchantment falls off. And instead of going to your graveyard, it, like, hovers there in a little Hedron cube. And then another creature comes along and picks it up. And now he's got this ability. You know?
Yeah,
I like that.
It almost feels like this is how equipment should work. Like, if I'm a planeswalker, if I'm a wizard, and I'm summoning out of my brain the memory or whatever of this hammer or sword, I'm not going to fucking put it on the ground. I'm going to summon it into the guy who I need him to swing it at somebody.
Yeah.
I'm just going to summon it into being where this guy's hand is.
Yeah.
You should just get it.
As opposed to just like, Behemoth Sledge. Throw.
Yeah.
And then hope it lands close to the guy that you want to pick it up. Like,
oh, that's funny.
Yeah, I think those are cool. I really like I guess it's flavor on it and the templating on it. I really appreciate that. I like that lots.
Okay. So, modal double face cards. We've got 2 of them. We've got Ameria's Call and we've got Ondu Inversion.
Yes.
These are both, let's call them insanely overcosted.
Absolutely.
Or they give us like a fairly significant effect that we actually don't care about and just don't want to spend the mana. Like, Emeria's Call, white 4,
Holy
sorcery,
fuck.
create 2 4/4 flying angel warrior creature tokens with flying. Non-angel creatures you control gain indestructible.
Until your next turn.
That is a good card.
It's a good card.
That has a lot of good words on it. Particularly, our stuff can't die.
Yeah.
But I'll just play something that says our stuff can't die and not spend 7 mana.
Yeah.
Like, what's the one if you control your commander, your guys are indestructible? What's the one, assault or defense formation from the Ravnica set that I said was good in the set review? It costs 3, our stuff can't die. Heroic intervention, our stuff can't die.
Yeah.
Like, all of those are free or 1 or 2 mana, 3 mana, whatever, not 7.
Yeah, and the backside of it is a land that it's a plains that comes into play tapped unless you bolt yourself.
Not even a plains.
It's not even a plains, but it does what a plains does, which is tap for a white mana and just eat shit to a blood moon.
Yeah, I'm not going to knock the back half because
it's a land.
It's always a land that you could play.
Yeah. I feel like the reason that spell costs so much is because it's got a land on the back, though.
I think if it didn't have a land on the back, maybe it would cost. Well, it would be a totally different card because, like, what it does is worth 7 mana or more. Like, 2 4/4 fires and all my shit's indestructible.
That's pretty good.
That's probably worth almost 10 mana.
Yeah.
If all my shit's indestructible is 2 or 3, what's 8 power worth? 7 or 8?
Well, in you were talking about 4/4 flying angels, Ryan. Those are worth what? How much is a Luminarch Ascension from original Zendikar? How much do they cost? 2?
2. I'm thinking like Sarah Angel. Sarah Angel costs 5.
Yeah, well, this isn't Sarah Angel.
Yeah,
time.
no, I think like
we're not playing an alpha anymore, Ryan.
Yeah,
pick it up.
The card is good. It's powerful, but I'm not in love with the effect
Yeah,
because
I'm not into it.
it's available cheaper. Yeah. And what about the other one I mentioned, Ondu Inversion? This costs fucking $8.
Yeah, it costs 8 to destroy all non-land permanents. Just play fucking red if you want to do that.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. This is a powerful effect. It's costed well.
It's where
you can get this kind of thing in red at I think 6, can't you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Red 3.
And then this one has a enter the battlefield taps for a white land on it.
Yeah.
On the back.
Whatever. That's
I think it's fine. I think that this card will actually see play. This Ondu Inversion.
I think people will play
that.
But meh.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on.
Moving along.
Are we touching on more modal double face cards? We probably will. Just and
if they're good, I think if they're mythics or rares, they're worth taking a look at because that's like
we're going to echo the same sentiment, though, right?
Yeah, like I feel like none of them really blew my balls off when I saw them. It's like okay, whatever. It's cool that they're land on the back. I really think that that's neat. I think that the option is really great, but I think that a lot of the cards are just kind of they're fine, whatever. Whatever.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, here, on to blue. Confounding Mother-Ass Conundrum.
Is that the enchantment for blue 1 that when it comes into play it replaces itself?
Yes.
And then whenever a land enters the battlefield under an opponent's control, if that player had another land enter the battlefield under their control this turn, they return a land they control to their hand?
Yes.
Ooh.
Oh, baby.
I've talked lots about this on Twitter with a few people, and I, as the stacks player, as the resource-denying player, I think that this is a little undercosted.
You think so?
I think it's a little, not a bunch, but a little bit. Because there's going to be games where you're going to play this on turn 1 and just turn off fetch lands forever.
Fucking sweet.
Can you imagine? You go first and you drop this and everybody's sitting there with their fetch lands in their hand and they go, fuck. You know?
Yeah, you know what, though? This also, I think this... I'm thinking about other mana denial type things like back to basics, keeps non-basics tapped. Yep. Well, this is kind of a non-bow with that because you play your second land and it enters a battlefield, like you fetch and your non-basic that was tapped bounces to your hand. You can play it again next turn. It lets you untap through a back to basics if I control both of them.
Yes.
If I'm playing Blood Moon, then this card just does pretty much stone cold nothing after it replaces itself because fetch lands don't exist with Blood Moon.
Yeah.
Right? So I like this card's good, I think, in where you're talking about it, but the other things that you see alongside of it make it less good.
It's another one of those cards that's I've talked about a few of these where it's gonna scale pretty good. It's gonna go from worthless in a super casual game where nobody's doing the hardcore ramp stuff.
Yep.
To holy mother of God.
Mother-ass.
Where the first 3 or 4 turns are just people just dumping land onto the battlefield.
Yeah.
This thing's going to just stop that.
Yeah. It's going to stretch the game out into turns 11, 12, 13, starting on turn 2. Yeah. Instead of letting the game come to a conclusion at game 8, 9, 10.
Yes.
Or whatever.
Which is cool. I dig it. I feel like it should have cost 3. I think it should have cost blue 1. That's what I would have costed at. It's super powerful, and I know I'm going to get burned down for that, but that's just my thought on it.
Okay.
I do like the card, though. I will play it. 100% that card's going in my decks, but I'm going to feel a slight twang of guilt maybe once.
I like this one's going in my deck. This is Deliberate. Is this the first time we've ever seen this card? It is. This is an instant for blue 1, scry 2, then draw a card. That there's not a whole ton to it. It's not super shiny or fancy. It's just this is one of the spells in my turn of cast 5 things to wake up Arixmethes and just pound you. That's just another one of that type of spell.
Solid common for sure.
Yeah.
I like Glasspool Mimic. There's another one of those modal cards.
There it is.
It's this card's clone. It's a blue 2 shapeshifter rogue, so it also applies for your party mechanic. It comes into play as a copy of a creature you control, except it's a shapeshifter rogue in addition to its other types. And then on the other side, it comes into play tapped and taps for blue.
It needs to clone something we control.
Yes.
In clone.deck, not an issue because you're going to clone the best thing on the table,
Yeah.
and then you can clone it again because you control the clone. You copy the clone.
That's right.
It retains its rogue status, which it says right in its text box. And then, of course, the other side is a beautiful Bob Ross looking motherfucking painting
Right?
with a hedron in it
Yeah.
that is just enters the battlefield tapped and adds a blue.
I think it's cool. I like that one. I'm a fan of that one.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the perfect one that you say, hey, there's a 3-cost clone and it's just as good as the 4-cost clone in the example I just gave. I will play this, but if I have a Quicksilver Gargantuan that costs 7 that I want like a 7/7 version of something that I clone with, this is going to give me my 7th mana.
Yep.
This is the perfect example. This is one that's going to see play in clone.deck.
Yeah, people are going to play it, and it's just that extra utility printed on the back of the card. Cool.
Yeah.
I'm into that.
Here's our next cycle.
Okay.
Inscription of Insight. God, is this the best one? Is there one in every color? I don't know.
Yeah, there is.
Oh, we missed the white one then. Who cares?
Yeah, who gives
It's probably
a shit?
not as good as this. This is a sorcery for blue 3. You can kick it for blue 2. So it costs 4 or it costs 8.
Ooh.
8 is lots, but get this. Choose 1. If the spell was kicked, choose any number instead.
Okay.
Ah, fuck, this is a sorcery. Come on.
Of course it's a sorcery.
Return up to 2 target creatures to their owner's hand.
Sure.
That's fine at 4 mana.
Yeah.
That's like boomerang.
2 unsummons for 8. Fine. At sorcery speed.
Yeah.
That's not overcosted at all.
Also, scry 2, then draw 2. Ooh, we're getting closer to 8.
We just had an instant earlier that did that for
2 mana.
but that's fine.
Okay.
Keep going.
Target player creates an XX blue illusion creature token where X is the number of cards in their hand. And remember, that's gonna go off after I've bounced my creatures back to my hand if I wanted that, and after I draw. So I'm probably gonna get a 2/2 at the bare minimum. So a 2/2, scry 2, draw 2, bounce 2 for 8. That's lots and lots and lots of stuff. The reason I say it should be an instant is because you can save your guys in response to a wrath, and then you can get another big guy that would die to the same wrath. But fuck. Okay, it doesn't matter that it's a sorcery, but I don't know. Is this card good?
No.
Oh,
No.
I think it is.
It's exactly on. If you kick it for 8, you're getting unsummon. That's 2 mana. You're getting that card that we talked about 3 minutes ago. That's 2 mana, so it makes up for 4. And then you're getting let's call it a 2/2.
Minimum 2/2.
Minimum 2/2 vanilla creature for 4.
Unless you get something bigger. And
Yeah.
late game in blue, you might have a grip full of cards.
Yeah, you could. I mean, if you're playing some kind of ridiculous thing where you got 17 cards in your hand, sure.
Yep.
But
And you don't have
Yeah.
to kick it. You can just choose one, right?
yeah, and if you play it for 4, then you're getting 2 unsummons, which is way below rate.
Yeah.
You're getting
Except
this
it's on one card. I'm not spending 2 cards to unsummon 2 things. I'm spending 1 card.
But you're unsummoning at sorcery speed. Yeah. So get out of here.
That was the blue player in me
Yeah, you know-
becoming less better than you.
Yeah, you know what you could play? I'm just going to say the card right next to it is Into the Royal, where you only bounce one thing, but you bounce a thing at instant speed and draw a fucking card.
Oh, Into the Royal, so dang good.
Better every day.
New art, not as good. Yeah, Into the Royal. I always call Into the Royal mini cryptic command. Just like the bounce a creature, draw a card from Invasion. What's it called? Repulse?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, mini cryptic. I like that. Okay, Maddening Cacophony. Whole baby.
Now, I hate this already because it says Jace on it,
Yeah.
and I'm
yeah.
less impressed by it because it has Kicker on it.
Do you like Glimpse of Nothingness? Glimpse
the Unthinkable?
Yeah.
You mean the thing that mills 10 for 2?
Yes.
Yes.
This mills all your opponents for 8. Not terrible. Kick it. So all in cost of 6. Each opponent mills half their shit.
So you traumatize everybody for 6.
Yeah. Instant win with Bruvac, the Grandiloquent. It used to be such that Bruvac and Traumatize is just like, oh, well, if you only kill one person, it's not very good. Right? Unless you Labman mill yourself with Traumatize, which is Traumatize yourself, best play in
as
Magic,
fuck,
right?
yeah.
But this just gets everybody. No secret, though. Everybody knew that already. Fuck it.
Okay, now once again, we've been bogged down in these cards that we're not going to actually play.
What about Ruin Crab?
Ruin Crab is excellent, but it's 8 Crab. I don't know if it's going to be seen in EDH, but that's certainly a card that if you get them, you fucking hang on to them. You get showcase ones, you hang on to them. And if you get showcase foils of them, you hang on to them, because I guarantee you that card will be worth some amount of money a couple years from now.
Yeah, probably.
Just like Hedron Crab.
I think Rune Crab and Hedron Crab go in the same vintage deck.
Because they're a vintage
or,
deck.
Or
everybody.
legacy deck, I think.
Yeah. So do not.
Regardless.
Do not let those go, because they are a thing that are always going to be cool and they're fun.
Yeah. Okay, so let's keep going at a little bit quicker clip so we can talk about the shit that we were going to talk about. Seagate Restoration is the bolt yourself, double your hand size, flippy, dippy, 17,000 mana cost mother ass.
So get out of here.
Agadeem's Awakening is an X1 that flips into bolt yourself land. This one is return from your graveyard to the battlefield any number of target creature cards with different converted mana cost, X or less.
So if you play it for 5, you can get a 5/4, 3, 2, 1 cost, 0 cost, dude. From the B to the B.
Yeah, that would be
from the B to P. There we go.
From the bin to play, not
Yeah.
from the B to B, graveyard to battlefield. That would cost 8 if you wanted X equals 5, because black,
Yeah.
black, black, X. Is it good? Is it good at X equals 5? I think that's where it's good.
I think you got to put it in comparison with the other things of the cycle. They all cost 8-ish.
Yeah.
So let's pay 8, and if you're paying 8 for this, yeah, it's good.
Paying 8 lets you get a 5-drop. That could be Phyrexian Delver, which would let you get a 6th creature back.
Yeah. I mean, and I think in any EDH deck, you're probably going to get at least 3 creatures back, just on happenstance.
And you could get a Gravedigger, which gets a 7th creature back to your hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, now we're talking.
See, that's a
okay,
cool
so
card.
you can twist your deck a little bit around that card.
Yes.
Right? Okay. Coveted Prize. Search your library for a card, put it into your hand, then shuffle your library. If you have a full party, you may cast this spell with converted mana cost 4 or less from your hand without paying its mana cost.
And it costs 1 less for each creature in your party. So you could hypothetically, 1, find a card that costs less than 4, play it for free.
This is the kind of card where it's like, hey, this is a tutor. This is a tutor if my commander just happens to be a wizard, cleric, warrior, or rogue.
Sure.
A 3-mana tutor. Yeah. And then incidentally, if I have any of those, a 4-mana tutor. If incidentally I have any of those other creature types in my deck, this could be a 3-mana tutor. So that's an interesting one.
It goes from totally medium at 5 to diabolic tutor just on happenstance based on who your commander is, to an actual playable Rhystic tutor when you have 2 happenstance creatures that might be in a party. Then it goes to demonic tutor.
Yes.
If you're real, and then if you have the bee's fucking knees, it turns into what? Is it the best tutor in Magic?
Vamp Toots?
Is it the best tutor in Magic? Because for 1 black, you find any card in your deck, put it into your hand, and then get to play something for free.
This card?
Yep.
It's a sorcery, and it's conditional, but it's good if you've got a full party. CCO House Party card.
That is
This is our card. 1 tutor we're playing.
Yes. That is very good. I like it.
All of what you just said, also true for Deadly Alliance, which just costs less for each card in your party. Destroy target creature or planeswalker. It's a good one.
That's fine.
Okay. Feed the Swarm. Everybody's talking about it. What's your take on the each color gets one thing they can't deal with? Black is still artifacts, but now it's getting enchantments. What do you feel?
I don't get all the hate, because there's lots of people who are all pissed off about it. And I'm not super pumped that it exists. Like, I don't think black needs to be able to remove enchantments, but whatever. Like, am I going to be a little salty the first time somebody just mono black wrecks my enchantment? I'll be like, fuck, why the fuck can black do that? But
yeah, and then you play an artifact, and black player's like, ooh.
Yeah, I'll just counter it with an artifact spell or what, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I think that it deserves the conversation, but I don't think that people should be as mad about it as they are.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
I think it's cool. It's a sorcery also, so
yeah,
get the fuck out of here.
Okay, Malakar Rebirth. Choose target creature. You lose 2 life. Until end of turn, that creature gains. When this creature dies, return it to the battlefield under its owner's control.
Ooh.
Instant speed, and you can flip it over to be a land on the other side. Malakir Mire.
Never even do that, because you just wait for somebody to wrath and kill something real good and then just get it.
Yeah, you get a die trigger, and then it comes back, you get an ETB.
Yeah.
If you could swing it such that an ETB ETB and damage, like a Perforos or something. You ETB, fucking sacrifice it for something, and then you get it back to ETB again. Like this is a cool one. It's like a little regenerate type thing, but it doesn't tap it, and you get double ETBs, which is cool.
And on a card with cool art, you can steal your opponent's shit for 1.
Choose target creature, lose 2 life until end of turn. Whenever this creature dies, return to the battlefield under its owner's control.
Oh, under its owner's control. Oh, we were close.
Oh, fuck, I had a little conniption. Oh, man. Speaking of cool art, Mind Carver. Look at that.
It's like a knife through the head.
Yeah. Wins the award for, like, you see that picture on the back of somebody's shirt, like, at the fucking county exhibition.
Yeah. People at the X. There are people with this tattooed on their arm already.
Yeah. Somebody's wearing that says, like, Jason Alt Special. Hey, I'm a forklift operator. It takes everything I have to keep my mouth shut. And there's a skull with a knife in its head. Right? Like, oh,
There's
fuck.
even a little blood dripping off the knife.
Yeah. I'm a grandpa born in May. I will do anything. All those shirts.
Yeah. That's one of those enchant equipments that we were talking about earlier for black.
Yeah. All right.
What about Scourge of Skyclaves? Do we...
Star for 2. You cast the spell if it was kicked. Each player loses half their life rounded up. Half their life. So everybody's taking 20.
Yep.
Sure.
For 7. Okay.
Oh, fuck. Nobody's at 40 when you're at 7. Okay. Scourge of Skyclave, power and toughness each equal to 20 minus the highest life total among players. So somebody would need to be at 19 for this to be a 1-1.
What do you think of that?
If everybody's at 1, this guy's a 19-19. It's good in that scenario.
Yeah, it's good when they're at fucking 1. Why is this a mythic? That's the only... What the fuck is this?
Because it's weird ability.
There's some kind of stupid jank deck that's going to play that.
I know. You know what? Honestly,
what the fuck?
If we're gonna call this set, if we're gonna review the set, the mythics in Zendikar Rising make me not want to buy sealed product in mass. The mythics in this set make me not want to buy cards.
Yeah.
They make me want to buy singles.
Yep.
Where I can use CCO, exclusive promo code on my singles, get 5% off.
Absolutely.
CCO Fusion 5.
Because the mythics are not... There's a lot of trash mythics in this set.
Yeah, man. I don't know.
I'm not into that at all.
Hey. New off-the-wall artist, not Seb McKinnon artist, is Wiley Beckert.
With Thwart the Grave?
Thwart the Grave and Soul Shatter. New kind of art style people seem to be digging, and I'll tell you, I do like it more than Seb McKinnon.
Agreed. I like that too.
It's pretty cool, hey?
I think that is pretty
kind of
neat.
looks almost old school, like it could be like out of the some old biblical text. That's where that looks like it's out of.
It's like a fresco. Or I don't know what it is, but I assume that's what a fresco would look like.
All right, let's blow through red because it sucks. Cleansing Wildfire.
What the
It costs 2. It's a good one. You can wreck your own land.
Destroy a land, search. Oh man, I love that picture too. I like that
that's
card
a cool
so
one.
much.
Everybody's talking about that one though. People beat that one to death.
I like that one a ton.
Leyline Tyrant, I think people beat that one to death too, but you can save up your red mana, then if it dies, you can spend it all and just dome someone.
And hose somebody down. Nahiri's Lithoforming is another one I think probably lots of people are...
Do you like Kazul's Fury just strictly for the art on the card? He's just slamming somebody.
He's just gorilla pressing some fool. Is it Shitty Fling?
It is Shitty Fling with a land on the other side.
Yeah. Well, that's fine.
Yep. What's the good one? What's the good one that flips? The one that you wheel yourself?
The Wheel of Fortune?
Yeah, what's the wheel my fucking self? Valakut Awakening. Oh, baby. Instant, put any number of cards from your hand on the bottom of their library. I wish it was discard. That sucks. But you can put any number. So if you just want to do 1, or if you want to do 15, like just do any number, then draw that many plus 1. So it replaces itself, and you get to choose.
I dig it.
I dig it, because I
like
can
that.
keep my combo piece and dig.
I like that lots.
Fuck, that's a good card.
Who else is a good card?
The mountain on the back of it?
I guess.
Sure.
Not really, though. Roiling Vortex is cool.
Is that a gooder?
An enchantment for red 1. During each opponent's upkeep, Roiling Vortex deals 1 damage to them. Whenever a player casts a spell, if no mana was spent to cast that spell, Roiling Vortex 5s them, and you can pay red for your opponents not to gain life this turn. And life gain has been a thing that's steadily on the rise in Commander.
Yeah, because nobody's doing Commander damage, and Infect is so taboo.
Yeah, so this is a card it's less obtrusive to people than something like a Sulfuric Vortex.
Or what's the one where they can't search libraries?
Stranglehold.
Yes.
And it does what a lot of red decks need to do. This is not a staple. I'm not going to say this is a staple, but I think it's a card that's worth people looking at and putting in their decks if they have a guy that likes to play mono white life gain and like every
or
game
anything
is trying to
life gain, ETB life gain, anything with Flux Reservoir. Remember that card?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, here's the last red card I want to touch on. Valakut Exploration.
Hell yeah, dude.
All right. Enchantment for red 2, landfall. When a land enters the battlefield, exile the top card of your library. You may play that card for as long as it remains exiled.
Yeah.
For as long as it remains exiled.
Yep.
Forever. Sort of. At the beginning of your end step, if there are cards exiled with Valakut Exploration, put them into their owner's graveyard. That's a good place to have them. Then Exploration deals that much damage to each opponent.
That is so... Now remember, a couple of sets ago, they printed a nice little ditty in red that might have also been an enchantment that costs red 1.
Underworld Breach.
That's the one.
Oh, baby.
So you're fueling it. You're burning your opponents to the ground, and you're fueling the breach.
You're fueling the breach. You're fueling mass landfall with splendid reclamation. Can you imagine? Can you imagine scape shifting with this out? Then you reveal, and you just go, oh fuck, end step. you just dome. It's each opponent, right?
Yeah.
This card actually, you know how yesterday I was talking about Morgag, whatever his name was?
Yeah.
About multi-attacking and shit in my lands deck? No, this one.
This is a fucking good card.
This one.
This card is excellent. And
dude.
It's so good. This is, oh man.
Do you know that, like, and you've seen it. The lands deck can get 40 landfall triggers in a turn. 40.
Yeah.
Dude. Fuck, I'm pumped. All right. Green. We're literally scrolling through green and not finding it.
Well, there's
Fuck green. I don't even want to talk about it. Green got too much good shit over the last year and a half. Like
Green got all the like Lotus Cobra on
he's
back.
take a set off of making green cards and just like woo burr. No green.
Like, I don't know. I think Lotus Cobra getting a reprint is cool.
Yes.
It puts that card into more people's hands. That's really excellent. I like Oran Reef Ooze, but only because it's an ooze. I like Scoot Swarm. Scoot Swarm is excellent. It's going to break a ton of arena games, and it's going to be absolutely a nightmare in paper once you start playing that son of a bitch. That's the 1/1 for green 2 with landfall. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, you create a 1/1 green insect creature. If you control 6 or more lands, instead you get a Scoot Swarm. So then you start getting multiple Scoot Swarms for every land, and it's going to just... It's insane.
Yeah, that is
an
throwback to Scoot Mob, right? Which was in Worldwake or Rise of Eldrazi?
Worldwake, I think.
I don't remember.
I could be wrong, but it's an amazing card, but it's going to cause some headaches.
Yeah, that's it. Roiling Regrowth? That's Harrow, but they come into play tapped. Notably, it's an instant. So all those Calamax players, here's your next instant speed double get land.
Harrow was an instant.
I know.
And Harrow came into play untapped.
I know. But there's not very many instant speed get land into play cards, and Calamax wants all of them.
I guess.
So just there's your bone, Calamax. Fuck green. Let's go to multicolored. I'm done with green. We talked about most of the multicolored stuff yesterday, didn't we? We've got some clerics.
There's what I wanted to touch on in Marasa Root Gazer, or Marasa Meat Gazer, as I like to call him. He is a 2/3 for green 2 with Vigilance. You can tap him to put a basic from your hand into play, or you can tap him to return a basic land you control to its owner's hand. I think that's going to be a card where if you're building your landfall deck, it's going to see a lot of utility because it gives you a landfall trigger every single turn. Or if you're land flooded, it gives you multiple landfall triggers on each turn. I like that card, and as much as people, why does it have to have white in it? I can't play it in my landfall deck. It's fine, and I think it's a cool card. And I think
if you're giving white the ability to play more land, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Nothing but good.
Yeah, there's nothing but good stuff to say about that particular card.
That almost, you know what, that is almost, it kind of is, your 2 mana play an extra land card. If Exploration's good and Azusa's certainly good, this is the 2 mana version of that.
Sure.
I dig it.
Yeah, I like that card. I like
dig it. All right, moving on.
Do we like Forsaken Monument? There's another mythic. What do we think? That's
Baby, this is a powerful card.
Legendary Artie for 5. Colorless creatures you control get +2/+2. When you tap a permanent for colorless mana, you add an additional colorless mana. Whenever you cast a colorless spell, you gain 2 life.
Yeah, that's good. This is a good card.
It's an Eldrazi card in a set with no Eldrazi's in it.
I agree. It's a throwback to Eldrazi a little bit, right? This is going to be the Artifact Ball card that lets you gain the life that you need to Ether Flux as soon as you drop it. You don't need to cast another spell after Ether Flux, as if you couldn't.
Yeah.
But this is going to be that card. It's also going to let you... It's a mana doubler for all your mana rocks that goes into the same deck I just talked about.
Yeah.
Right?
If you're playing it in like a 5-color kind of shell, all your pain lands can tap for 2 colorless instead of 1.
Yeah.
There's lots of lands that'll
Oh,
do that
yeah,
kind of
yeah. It works with that. And people are like, oh, pain lands suck. Well, I don't know. Not so much now. If you don't need the colored mana, you can get 2.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's kind of neat.
How about Lithiform Engine?
Ano-
Oh, baby. This is an engine card.
Another Wall of Text for 4. You get another legendary artifact. You can pay 2 and tap it to copy target activated or triggered ability you control. You can, of course, choose new targets. 3 and tap it. You can copy target instant or sorcery spell you control. And again, you can choose new targets for the spell. And for 4 and tap it, you can copy target permanent spell you control. That's on the stack, right? So I'm playing a creature. I can then tap 4 on this to tap to copy that creature.
Yes.
And get another version of that creature.
Yes, a permanent spell is a spell that's on the that is going to become a permanent when it resolves. Yeah. But being a spell means it's still on the stack when you target that thing. So we're getting we're getting tokens, fuck me. We're getting tokens of permanence for the first time ever with this card. This is going to be combo Nightmare City.
And do you copy kickers?
Yes.
So if I was to kick a Skyclave Relic,
okay,
I could hypothetically, instead of just getting a 3-mana rock that taps for any color, I can get 6 of those same indestructible mana rocks.
Skyclave Relic is a kicker 3-cost mana rock for any color that's indestructible. It's literally Darksteel Ingot with kicker. If you pay the kicker, you get 3 of them.
It's better Darksteel Ingot.
Yo, yeah, straight into anything that's playing Darksteel Ingot.
If you're playing Darksteel Ingot, you can cut it for this.
That's right. If you're playing any equipment that cares about creature types in Mistform Ultimates, Relic Axe going in. Enters the battlefield. Attached to a creature you control, equipped creature gets +1/+1. If it's a warrior, and it is, it gets +2/+1. Oh, that's great.
Oh, hell.
All right, so lands, just quickly, we got Base Camp that cares about mana of any color for your party. Yeah. We've got Throne of Makindi that cares about giving you mana for kicker costs, which goes in the kicker deck. Sure. Beautiful full art basics as per Zendikar Normandy.
It's what you come to expect. You're not going to get less than that from a Zendikar set.
Yep. And some of them look like they're throwbacks or the same place that we got land of old.
Yeah, there's definitely that Bowl Island.
Yeah, it's got like a city or something in it.
Looking at, for us, the Plains number 265 or whatever it is, that one is an old one as well. The forest or the swamp with the green on it, that's one, except instead of having brains, it doesn't have brains.
Yeah, there's lots of throwbacks. Yeah. They look like they're just not infected by Eldrazi or whatever now.
Yeah.
Getting on to something that you and I are a little bit passionate about.
Yes.
And I want to end the show on this kind of high note because this is something that makes these sets feel unique, special, and I think the player base at large comes to appreciate it, despite what I said about the core set 2021 versions of these, where they were just like
they were lazy as hell.
They were lazy as fuck. That's a good way to summarize it.
This is my favorite part of this set.
And what is it? We haven't said what it is.
It is the special art, the showcase arts on the cards.
Yeah,
there are some of them, like not every card gets it, but every single one of them is fucking excellent, and it gives you a cool collector piece that's just kind of neat to have. They're really cool to look at. They'd be fun to collect. I might try and get all of these, just like I did the comic arts back from Ikoria.
Yep.
And these are up there with Ikoria. It immediately sets apart, like you open a pack, let's say your rare is trash. Let's you open a mythic you didn't want, but you get a ruin crab in alternate art, and it's just cool. Now you have something that maybe not everybody else has, or just something that's unique and interesting that you have, and it's just something that you get instead of another jank common. Now you've got a common you're actually going to keep instead of recycling.
Yeah. These, I will criticize them a minor amount in that they do not feel adventure-y. The art doesn't appear to be adventure, Indiana Jones adventure-y. The kind of the geographic kind of ruin, temple, ruin, pyramid geography shapes that they wrap around the art does. That feels like Aztec pyramid ruins. I get it.
Yeah.
These feel more jungle, kind of tropical fantasy, almost like Avatar to me.
They feel like Hawaiian shirts.
They kind of do, yeah. If we went to Avatar plane, and everyone was in Hawaiian shirts, this is what the showcase cards would look like. Super crazy, high contrast, very vibrant, very bright. A lot of them, not only based on the art, but on the actual kind of layout of the card, are going to look so great in foil.
These are going to be tremendous foils.
And just the color on them, hey? Like, looking at that Ruin Crab, it's just, the card frame is blue. Like, the text boxes, the game pieces of that card are blue, but the art is yellow and red and green. Wow, these are so bright.
I just keep looking at this Felidar Prowler thinking, man, I want those. I want those. And it's a shitty common.
Yeah.
Like, it's a shitty but I want that card. I want that card in my hand. I want it in my binder. I want to look at that. And I think that them giving you that extra collectible piece really does help just drive excitement for the set. Like, I'm excited to open these.
Yeah, the Morag, the Skyclave Squid, the Rune Crab, those are going to look great. The Kazandu Mammoth.
There's a Valakut Exploration. Oh,
there is. Dang, yeah.
But like a card that we actually like in a super sweet thing with a super amazing picture on it.
Lotus Cobra. Omnath is going to look so sick in this treatment because there's just so much color in there.
Even the Kazandu Nectar Pot, the little ant.
What?
Yeah. It's a common. It's a common that's going to be so cool when you open one.
Yeah.
You know, and you know you're going to get them if you buy a box or if you buy a collector pack. You're going to probably get the commons and uncommons, and they're going to be so nice.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. I love that. And I love that they put that in there.
I think that is an excellent place to end the review on. Of course, you know what? I guess there's full art versions of the lands. There's full art versions of a lot of the rares that you can get that just have that blown up frame to the edge or whatever.
Yeah, the stretchy art. It is what it is.
The stretchy art.
They're there. They are what they are. What do you think of the land cycle, real quick? Do you like it? Do you not like it?
The flip lands that are actually rare.
Yep.
That don't have land types, so they're not fetchable,
right.
Which is the biggest criticism of them because they had a chance to print dual lands, real fetchable dual lands with no downsides, but they didn't. When ABUR dual lands are probably at an all-time high, and they fucking didn't in the land set.
That's right.
In Zendikar?
Yeah.
Do you think they already cashed in on all the Zendikar? They didn't need to make any more money?
That seems strange for them, but maybe they're going to go back again. Who knows?
I think I told you everything that I think about them already.
So, are you going to play them if you get one? I talked about it yesterday, and I'll play these if I get them.
I'll play the ones that I have. Well, we're in a unique situation. I have fetches, shocks, duels, pains. Yeah. I have everything that I need already, but I've been playing Magic for 7,000 years. I've been playing Magic since fucking before Nahiri was born. I
think that the point I want to leave with people is don't underestimate these. Don't open them and think, oh, I got this junky land. Because they're not junky. They're pretty good. And
they ETB untapped.
Yeah, they come into play untapped and they give you the fucking color that you want the turn that you play them. And do not ever underestimate that. Because there's a lot of people out there that are going to buy pre-constructed commander decks that have all these shitty tap lands and they're going, oh my god, these decks are so slow.
Dude, those full art double-faced modal lands are literally just Avatar.
Yeah.
That one with the guy flying
is
a scene from Avatar.
Yeah.
What's that card called?
Lava Glide Pathway, River Glide Pathway.
They're beautiful. I love them. If I get them, I'll find places to put them, for sure.
If I have them in my hand, I will definitely play them. If you don't have a land suite like me and Ryan, because we're ancient and playing this since before Zendikar was even thought of, we've been playing longer than they've had full art basics.
Back in my day,
we had cool old frames, and they didn't foil the art, just the frame. So if you're still looking to build mana bases, I think that those are good ones to put in. So don't underestimate them, and they'll probably be not very many monies. So pick them up if you can.
And where can you pick them up, Brando?
You can pick them up at our official sponsor and corporate overlord, FusionGamingOnline.com. They're your source for all your gaming needs, where you can use specialty promo code CCOFusion5 to get 5% off all of your singles. Or if you just want to tell them that we're doing a great job, you can put it on if you buy a deck box or some sleeves or something too. I think that then concludes our Zendikar Rising.
Zendikar Rising. It doesn't quite conclude because you got to go to YouTube and watch our video on the expeditions, the Masterpiece series expeditions,
the return of those. I think that we touched. I think that we hit it out of the park with that video.
You know what? I think we're just as happy with those and sort of where to get them, if I remember the video correctly, as we are with the showcase cards in the booster packs proper.
And we're pretty pumped about the showcase cards. So check that out as well. It'll be out in the next couple of days after you hear this, and we're going to be back next week with another deck on another episode of Commander Cookout Podcast. Hit our theme song!